Big. Iawn. Croeso nôl. A couple of things I need to tell you about. There's been some found items. One is an iPhone 6. Just check you've got it with you. And one is a rose gold ring, but we think that's someone from yesterday. They're both at the registration desk. I assume there'll be some kind of, question asked about how do you know it's you, etc. But yeah, if you've lost an iPhone 6, it's at the registration desk. Iawn, how's your day been? I didn't give you a means of, a scale there, did I? It's like, yeah. All right, good, useful, enjoyable, informative, thought-provoking, inspirational, motivational. They're answering them all the same now. I'll stop there. Yes. Good, da iawn. So I'm just going to give you a couple of thoughts about some of the things that I heard from the sessions that I was coordinating. Echoed some of the things we heard yesterday, and I think that it's really useful just to go through a few of them. The panel we had earlier, they were the access officers from various universities, and they talked about self-analysis. So trying to work out not just what you've done, but what it's given you. I always tell people if I'm doing training around interview skills, it's the good question is, so what? I've done so-and-so, so what? It's the next step. So rather than just thinking about lists, it's what of these opportunities or experiences or pieces of study, what have they given you? That was one thing that was coming through. Another one was, a two-parter really. They talked about passion and the personal. So passion about really, as I said this morning, I think, about communicating what really floats your boat and how do you get that across. And also to get used to expressing that, to get used to talking about it, because sometimes the focus is on writing these things down and on, communicating that passion in a written form, but to get used to talking about these subjects and why you like them and why they really, fire your imagination. And one of the panel said that, he'd spent weeks, if not months, talking about philosophy to his mother. It was a one-way conversation, but he said it just helped him for when he was then expected to, at various interviews, to do that. So, get used to talking about it as well, not just used to putting it down in writing, maybe. And then, finally, they talked about stereotypes and, beware of them, basically. And I suppose we could look at stereotypes in two different ways here. One is, what are the stereotypes that people perpetuate in your area, maybe, or in your school? So do people limit you or limit your expectations because they say, well, people from around here don't go to A, B, or C? Ignore that. And in the same way, but slightly differently, ignore any stereotypes you've heard about different universities or about different subjects. The best way is, find out for yourself. Don't rely on what someone else is telling you. So I thought it'd be useful just to share a couple of those. Right. There's 1A. 1A. Nes I sôn bore yma. Nes I sôn bore yma mor bwysig yw bod ni'n clywed wrthoch chi. A mae hwnna yr un mor wir pnawn yma, a mae'r un mor wir ar ôl chi adael heddiw. Dyn ni wir, os I'm gorbwysleisio, eisiau clywed eich syniadau chi, eisiau clywed eich adborth chi. Mae beth i chi'n ei feddwl mewn ffordd yn llunio Seren, chi sy'n creu Seren, chi yw Seren y dyfodol, a ni eisiau bod y barn na chi'n rhoi, y sylwadau chi'n ei rhoi, y syniadau'r datblygiadau chi'n ei rhoi i ni, yn siapo Seren y gyfredodol. Chi cofiwch, dwi ddim yn gorffen un o'ch chi'n ôl ar y bus na yn y gartre heno. Cario ymlaen i gysylltu gyda ni, cario ymlaen i fod yn rhan o'r dyfodaeth.
That discussion going. Now I mentioned this morning that Seren is like a community. You are now part of that community, so it's very important that you play a part in that community.
Iawn. I'm aware that not all of you have been able to attend all of the sessions, because that would be quite difficult. But bear in mind that some of them have been filmed, some of them are available through the Seren blog. And Chloe, who you heard from this morning, I was asking her how she felt, her presentation had gone, or how her talk had gone today, and how she felt it had gone yesterday. And she said that her mother had pointed out to her last night that it was on YouTube, so she had a little look at that, and then changed a few things for today's talk. So another place to find some of the content that you might have missed is on YouTube. So cofiwch, remember that there is a chance to engage with some of the stuff that you might have missed today, and stuff that you would have missed from yesterday, possibly. Iawn, following on from what I talked to you about feedback and getting your input, I'd like to hand over again to Sam Wheeler, to share some of the answers and remind you how you can still give feedback. Sam.
Thank you very much. All right, so hopefully some of you have had a chance to log in and get some of your feedback onto the platform. Yay, nay? Hands up, who's had a try so far today? Hands up. Okay, cool. So we need everyone to do it. Can we switch onto the screen and have a look at what we got? Okay, so average 10 responses. I know you've been busy in your sessions, which is fantastic, and that's what you're here for. But this is as equally as important. And I know that Wi-Fi issues, as always, get in the way. But post feedback, obviously, we'll keep these live for the next couple of weeks or so. So please do, when you're away from today, on the buses on your way home, log into the link. It's at the top there as well. You can see it at the top. And we'll tweet this out onto the platform, onto the Seren Network platform, so you've got access to it too. And engage with us. Let us know your thoughts on pre-information about your experience before you join the community and the network, and post as well. So we're going to ask you a few post questions, which will be published a bit later today. So they're not all there just yet. But yeah, we had some fantastic results yesterday, really interesting findings. So the amalgamation of yesterday's and today's, hopefully we can really make a big impact on these types of events and your experiences going forward. And I know the leaders in the hubs are going to take these results and talk to you about them and encourage you to keep engaging with them as well. So it's not going to end here. If we just have a quick scroll so you can see some of the questions that we're pinging out to you, just as an example. Simple things, like where do you hope to study? Majority actually from yesterday, similar to today's, has been England, which is quite interesting. And I guess something I mentioned yesterday was, why not Wales? Tell us, what is it about Wales that maybe isn't filling the boat for you? Or what is it that we could share with you, or other areas around the country as part of the network? What do you want to be told to make you feel like you're making a really advised decision about your futures? If we scroll down, what else have we got? Yeah, so just rating your experience before you join the network. It's really interesting for us to see the before and after responses. The application process, which is a big thing, and I know that was a really popular session yesterday, so hopefully you'll all get to have a little dive into that one and feel more confident in your application process today, and there'll be a nice before and after figure there. Keep going down, what else we got? Yeah, this one's interesting about what's the question here, what do you think stops Welsh students, scroll down a bit, what do you think stops Welsh students targeting elite universities? So this is a really nice one, just to sort of see what your opinions are. I think yesterday was lack of confidence was the one that came up the most, but at the minute, yeah, it's lack of support. And there's an answer for us to give you guys and for more discussion to be had. Well, what is it that we can do to support more and to build on this network to make that a different process? So, yeah, some good ones. Hopefully you'll engage today. Keep trying today while you're in and out of sessions, and again on the buses and home tonight and when you're back in school and in your hubs and doing your normal life things. Yeah, thanks very much. That's about it from me. Yeah, cool.
Diolch, Sam. There's one thing following on from what Sam said about what prevents Welsh students from making applications to some of these universities. One point that came across today and yesterday was that for one of the universities, I think it was Oxford, mentioned that the vast majority of Welsh students make applications for just 4 courses. And there was a figure given, I can't remember, it was in the thousands, wasn't it? The number of courses available throughout UK universities. 7,000. 37. Oh. 7,000 is a lot. 37,000 different courses available through universities at the UK. And yeah, sometimes the problem is that we're focusing too much on one thing. And one of the universities talked about shoulder subjects, didn't they? So, in the prospectus, in terms of how they're rearranged, if you're interested in A, then maybe also have a look at B. Not to be too narrow, maybe, in terms of what your focus is. I think that was quite important as well. Great. So, as Sam said, keep giving the feedback on the bus home, when you are home, wherever you are, once you've got reception, right? And once you've got Wi-Fi. So I'm aware that you'll want to leave after the second session, so make sure you've got water, whatever else you need for the journey, and we'll be finishing today at 4:20. Okay? Teachers as well, if you want any of the pop-up banners we've got, such as these, here and here, if you let the volunteers at reception know, we'll be able to pack them up I don't know whether that means a student's got to step off the bus to make room for a pop-up. But yeah, they're there for you, rather. If you want them, then please let the volunteers at reception know. So today has really been about you as students, you as teachers learning from each other, and from some of the best advisors and academic experts in the country about the opportunities available to you to support with progression to highly selective universities. And again, just before lunch, one of the panel members was talking about the sheer volume of applications that they get. And hopefully a lot of what you've heard today and what you're going to take away with you today is about how you can set yourself apart in that application process, not to do what everybody else is doing. We really appreciate the immense contribution of our external facilitators and representatives from universities and organisations whose purpose it is to provide you with these fantastic opportunities. I'd like to invite all delegates to give a warm round of applause by way of thanks to our speakers and exhibitors today. And that's it for now. So on to your next sessions. Diolch yn fawr iawn i chi. Keep making the most of the opportunities this afternoon. A pob oel i chi.